tell you about my show. Wednesday nights. And here we go. It's the rule of three with a touch of Basco. And like the Joker says, and here we go. It's Wednesday night and it's 9 o'clock. Click on the thumbnail, it's about to get hot. We get 3 different questions in only 3 minutes. It ain't for the scared, it ain't for the timid. Some will like us and some just don't. A lot will back us and some just won't. It don't matter with the Khaos crew. We specialize in making things do what they do. So sit back, chill, and enjoy the show with me, Chris, Guy Scar, and Nzo.
Fire, peace, 9 o'clock, Wednesday nights. Don't miss it. Check us out.
What is up, everyone? Hopefully you guys can hear me. I gotta get my thing up here to make sure. Okay,
we hear you.
I just want to make sure because I think I've got it figured out mostly, but just gotta make sure. All right, guys, what's going on? It is the Rule of Three final show of the week. Yeah, I just watched William Shatner on The Masked Singer, so interesting stuff there.
Oh my god! I knew that was coming.
Yeah,
Danny, not sure.
For everybody.
I'm sure it was still better than Chris's rendition of "Living in America."
No. My rendition.
I used to watch Boston Legal, and he did "Kick in the Head" by Frank Sinatra. Oh my god, he butchered it. Oh my god, it was up.
Yeah, he's a. I would put it, but he's a interesting.
What was his character?
He was the knight. And what's funny is okay. So the clues they showed was him on the knight, his hand being pulled off. He talked about working with George Lucas. It was one of two people. It was either William Shatner or it was Mark Hamill. And a lot of it pointed to Mark Hamill. But the only thing was it showed a tape that had covers on it. And he's notorious for doing spoken word covers like Rocket Man and stuff back in the 70s or early 80s, something like that. So I was pretty sure it was William Shatner. So, and it was, oh man, that guy's like 91. He's sitting there.
He worked with George Lucas?
He George Lucas, I think, was either he did George Lucas's roast or George Lucas was at his roast, one of the two. And it's not always exactly what you think when they say certain things. It's always going to be, it can work for multiple people. It's only at the end that you really have to guess on it. So anyway,
a lot of times,
what's going on?
Never mind. I lost my train of thought. Just that fast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Danny Crane was awesome. You're right, Shifty. That is awesome.
Stop smoking.
Some days I wish
good.
I could.
Now that Shifty is here in the chat, Danny, Shifty was telling me that he never said that She-Hulk was great.
Shifty is lying. We
have multiple timestamps.
He's saying that it was fantastic, great,
absolutely.
All that stuff. So
he was cranking out like fantastic, best show ever stuff.
Exactly.
Like it was freaking the old Ford factory.
Until this last episode, he started changing his tune.
Exactly.
Sorry, Shifty, you are lying if you said that you never said that it was good or great.
Facts.
Can't run away from it.
Look at DQ. So he even she did praise it a lot. That's right. You're making this shit up.
No, I'm not. I'm not lying.
Like, what is wrong with you? Are you seeing the same shit we're seeing?
What can I tell you guys? It is Wednesday, Rule of Three time. 3 topics, 3 minutes each, 3 minutes as a group, and stay to the end. Always stay to the end. If you're watching this on a replay, you can forward to the end, but we got some pretty hot topics tonight. I think you guys will like it. If you saw the tweet, you know the 3 hints I gave you, and it's also in the description every week. I've been giving you hints. I don't go right out and tell you what it is, but I give you hints of what it could be about. So 3 topics and 3 minutes each, and 3 minutes as a group. But before we do that, let's talk to the usual suspects. We'll start down there with start with you, Nzo. Why not? Right? Go ahead, Nzo.
Yes,
tell me about your channel and everything.
Biggaford Entertainment. Yeah. That's about it, man. Glad to be here. Next up will be the OOC, so make sure to check that out. Other than that, awesome. Let's do it.
Indeed. All right, Danny of Comic Chat, tell them about yourself.
I'm Danny AK Comic Chat. You can find me here 3 nights a week on this channel. Hey, just glad to be here. Tonight should be interesting as always. Saturday you can catch us 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time doing Square One, and also Sunday I'll be doing at 8:30 the Roundtable for She-Hulk.
So. Yes, and we'll have to figure out a place to squeeze Andor's Roundtable in. Although, am I right? It's 6 episodes, right?
I think
Andor,
so. Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm looking at
3 tonight.
I'm looking at episode 3 of the Roundtable, and Shifty left a comment, and I'm reading verbatim his words.
Please
Great episode, super fun, way better than last week. Those are his words.
Great. And last week he liked the week before that.
Yeah. Episode 5 is when he start tasting sour milk. But 3 and 4, those are his exact words.
Exactly.
Great show, great episode. So, hey.
I'm just speaking facts, and I ain't lying. You know what I mean?
I know.
You think I'm lying? Go look at it.
And then I can go back, to the roundtables that we did to where he was talking. No, I mean like the actual show where he was in the comments, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like from 1.
You look at She-Hulk Roundtable 2.
Oh, 2? Okay, yeah.
Andor will be 12 episodes, I guess. So, all right, we'll see how it goes. And I know there's 2 seasons, like I think he said.
2 seasons of Andor? Oh God.
Yeah, they're gonna do the 2 seasons. It's gonna lead up to Rogue One, your favorite film, Nzo.
I checked out anyways. I'm done. I watched the first episode, some of the second one, and I'm just like, no, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Well, I'm Chris Knight. Real Review 3000 is my channel. I do a show called Unmasked the Masked Singer. It dropped last night, and it's picking up where it did last year. By last night, 5 subs from it. I was like, what the hell? I would much rather they do this like 3 times a year than 2. I mean, it'd be nice, but whatever. I'm no complaints. But check that out. Tomorrow night, the Rumble returns. Sunday night, also Name That Tune returns. Lots of stuff going on right now. Crazy, but we'll get to that at a later time. Check my tweets, is what Shifty says.
No, I'm not gonna bother. Your tweets don't explain what you said in the chat, so you can go to your tweets. Right. But what you said in the chats and what you said on stream are totally different things. So
that's right. All right. So tonight, let's have Danny pick first. Danny, 1, 2, or 3?
I always go with 3.
With 3. Mel Gibson has given us our first update in a while on Lethal Weapon 5. He recently said that the delays have been caused by the recent shakeups at Warner Brothers and Richard Donner's death. Other than that, he said all is going rather well. They have a good script and are hoping to start filming in the first quarter of 2023. Are you interested or excited about this movie? And do you think, based on who is involved with it, that it'll be good? 3 minutes. We'll bring it right there. Danny, time starts now.
I'm not sure what Mel Gibson's age is, but I gotta think he's at least 60. Danny Glover's probably even older. I don't know how they can recreate that action that they had because Mel Gibson was very physical as far as the martial arts. Danny Glover wasn't so. So Danny Glover probably could do his part, transition maybe into a chief or retired.
Danny's 76 and Mel is 66.
Yeah, I mean, action and that's definitely an oxymoron. There's no way there's going to be a 66 or 76 year action star unless maybe they're Liam Neeson. But I'm not particularly interested in seeing this unless, let's just say hypothetically, Mel Gibson has a son and his son's going to be maybe a badass or something like that, or maybe he's being a mentor to a young cop or something that can fight or whatever, and then they're going to do some CGI or something. I just don't think Mel Gibson has the vigor and the energy. And I think he's just too old to pull off being a badass like he was in the earlier movies. If I remember Lethal Weapon 4, I think Jet Li was in there, and Jet Li gave them all they could handle. So fast forward about another 15, 20 years later, I know Chris Rock was in the last one, if I'm not mistaken, and he's not known for being physically dominating or any kind of martial arts. So I don't know how they could do this, because we used to seeing, of course, they can do the buddy cop bit, but as far as the physical, the fighting scenes and all that kind of stuff, I just don't know if a 76 and a 66-year-old man could pull it off to make it look convincing. Right now, we are seeing some of that shades in Cobra Kai. I mean, Kreese trying to fight, man, in this last one, spoiler alert, when they showed him fighting, it was a younger version of himself. It wasn't even him fighting. So unless they're going to show younger versions of Danny Glover and younger versions of Mel Gibson fighting, I don't see where it's going to be able to do it. They don't look as good as Stallone does. Stallone is about their same age, but Stallone keeps himself in tip-top physical shape. Arnold Schwarzenegger not as good a shape as Stallone, but even in what's the name of that movie? The Dispensables. Have three of them. All the action stars movies in it.
Expendables.
In the Expendables, they were very limited. Arnold Schwarzenegger was very limited in what he did. Bruce Willis was very limited in what he did. Harrison Ford was very limited in what they did. They did the badass parts, but they were like something like they had a big gun or a helicopter or something like that. So I don't think that Lethal Weapon that we're accustomed to seeing is going to cut it with them at this age. So they may have to transition into younger versions of themselves, or a son-in-law that's a badass, or a son that's a badass, or a younger cop. But right now, based on their age, I don't think it's going to be very good.
All right. Good. Nzo, 3 minutes. Your time starts.
Yeah.
Now.
I'm actually taking the opposite approach to Danny on that, because they're old, but Mel Gibson was in Expendables 3 and he looked good, right? So Mel Gibson, if he really wants to, he could put it on like Sylvester Stallone did. Sylvester Stallone, I would say he does look the best out of all of them, but even now he's like, when you watch The Samaritan, he's looking old too as well, right? And I'm not sure how old he is, but he's around the same age as them, and he pulled off The Samaritan. So I think they can do it. With Danny Glover, he's not going to be the action guy, of course. He's going to be the old man, probably trying to, I'm too old for this. I'm really too old for this shit now type of shit, you know? And I also do think that there might be some young blood in it as well, right? You'd have to put some young blood in it as well. So I'd be interested in seeing it. Definitely think it would be good. I think Lethal Weapon 4 was one of the best ones, hands down. And it had to do with Jet Li too, right? Because I think Jet Li was like one of the bad guys in that movie. I think he was like one of the best. But Danny Glover also did Old Man or something like that. There was a part 2 of one of those. You know what I'm talking about, right? Where they were two.
But I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah. Where he was. There was the first one. It was about like a hobo or something like that, and the second one he was in there too as a second guy, action scene, and he pulled it off. I mean, again, the role called for these old men to be doing what they were doing, right? So it wasn't a real stretch, but he did pull it off. So I'm interested in the story. I like Lethal Weapon. I don't think any one of them was bad. So I have faith that Mel Gibson and Danny Glover will pull it off again and pull off a good one. So I'm
so I have faith that Mel Gibson.
Didn't you say Mel Gibson is 56 now?
66.
66.
He's 66. Danny Glover's 76.
So he was 58.
76.
He was 58 when he was in Expendables, because it came out in 2014.
Okay, but how old is Sylvester Stallone?
76, and Arnold's 75 now.
Sylvester Stallone is
76 years old.
Sylvester Stallone's 76, yeah.
Well, shit,
and Schwarzenegger's 75. Well, Are you done, Nzo?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
I'll answer those really quick. I think it all depends on the movie. When it comes to your age, they're not going to. I would say Mel Gibson will do the best he can to get in as best of shape as he can, so he can still do some of it. But they're not going to try to sell this in the like he was in the first one. He's not going to have all that jujitsu and kung fu stuff that he did in the first one and the second one and somewhat in the third one. As each movie went along, especially in the third and fourth one, he did slow down, and I think that works well for the story. He isn't young anymore. That's the whole point. And he, as his character, didn't want to admit that he was older. And the final one was even about that him and Murtaugh Riggs. Murtaugh was like, "I'm too old for this shit. I'm too old for this shit," and Riggs was like, "No, will it? I'm not too old for this shit. I'm not." It's because that's the dynamic of this. So it'll work well for here because let's be honest, at the ages they are, either Murtaugh is already retired and Riggs is about to retire, or they're both going to be retired. Chris Rock's character, which as far as I know, all those old characters, they've gotten them all to commit to this. So if Chris Rock comes in, Chris Rock's going to be the old guy, and he was the young buck in the fourth one. So it's going to be him starting to have to realize that. They will probably bring in either Chris Rock and Martin or Murtaugh's daughter's kid, or one of the other Murtaugh kids as a cop, or they may actually have Mel Gibson's, or both. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe they're going to have Murtaugh's oldest son or one of his sons and Riggs's son be new guys in the department, and they all have to work together to solve something. There are so many ways you can do this movie right. And that's the thing. They each built on to each other, and they each, each time as they got older or something changed, they added something behind it to help keep pushing it forward. It was something new, and it wasn't like they were forcing it. It worked. Renee Russo, when she came in, she helped it move it forward. It was a new dynamic. And then you bring Chris Rock into it. These movies have always done a really good job of forcing a new dynamic or something, and it doesn't feel like it's forced. It feels like it's natural. I think because Richard Donner was on this for a while, and while he may not be the one directing it, I think Mel Gibson is the right person to go to because he understands the flow of these movies. I think with all of that said, the people that are on it, the fact that they're getting back, as far as I've understood, everybody that was in the original movies, maybe not Pesci, but I think I heard that Pesci will be in it. That's always an up in the air thing. I think this movie has a good shot of being good, and I think it's on the right direction. So that's what I think. 3 more minutes talking as a group. Does age play a part of this? I mean,
absolutely.
Do you think though that they're going to try to push it and make him act like he's still great at that stuff? He'll try it. I guarantee you there'll be a spin kick or something they'll make his character try once, and he'll fall on his ass, or he'll pull out his back, or something will happen like that.
Or they can use a flashback to the first. Remember, the one where he does the spin kick, and then he tells Danny Glover to try it. Now he could do it where he tries it and fucks up or some shit. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be a lot they could do. It's gonna be good.
Dandelion, you're a horrible person.
I don't have that optimism I have for it, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I mean, I think it has a chance because it has the right people behind it. Will it be? I don't know. I mean, there's no guarantee. And again, this falls on it falls in the category, much like Top Gun, Maverick did, and much like what was the other one that came out?
Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah, that it falls in the line of it's been a while. If they do it right, it'll be a home run like Maverick, but it could be a complete disaster.
Avatar. You know what I mean? Well, Avatar 2 is going to either be a hit or a huge disaster. Same thing.
So 98 was the last one. So that's 24 years ago. It was when Lethal Weapon 4 happened. So we're hitting that. I mean, again, I don't know if there's precedents to be set except for like Maverick was, what did they say, 40 years or 35
Something
exactly,
like
almost.
Something.
Yeah. The only other thing I can think of that was that far removed was The Hustler, which was Jackie Gleason, and Paul Newman, and then Color of Money, which was Newman playing his part from The Hustler, and uh, Tom Cruise playing the new guy. I think it was Color of Money. I think that was the sequel. But there's very few rarities where movies do decent or well when you have this much of a gap. But this is one of those movies, much like I thought with Maverick. It's like, if there's going to be a movie, this is one of them. I don't have any hope for Avatar. That's a personal thought, though. I just don't think that it can do anything new that really is going to make people go, "Oh my god, that's so great!" And he's already trying to throw things out there, kind of like what he did with Dark Fate. He's already throwing stuff out there. You won't know where the movie's going. You won't see it coming. And it's like, dude, you didn't have to do that for the first Avatar. So what are you doing now? We'll see. I don't know. All right, Anzo. Oh God, I hope you picked the one I want you to pick.
number one.
Number one? Oh, no, you didn't. Oh well, that's all right. Because number two is going to be what the fuck? I think. Can't remember. Yeah, it is. It's going to be what the fuck. Number two is hot take. The MCU's Fantastic Four movie has found its writers. Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer are listed as its writers, and by some quotes have been for some time. With the current direction and writing in Phase 5 of the MCU, do you think that this version of the Fantastic Four will fare better than the previous versions?
All right.
3 minutes. Time starts now.
100% absolutely yes, it will. There is no doubt about it that it will. Well, for one, it has the MCU name attached to it, right? And we always say that just that name alone usually gets you about $500 million, give or take,
Time out.
right?
Time out. Yeah, okay. The 500 million, that's fine. But my point here is Eternals. If it plays like Eternals, is it still going to be like better? I mean, I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Eternals was garbage, but I don't think it's gonna play out like Eternals. I really don't. I think this is one property that MCU has to pretty much get right. Because Fantastic Four is the first family of the MCU, so I think they have to get it right. If it plays out like Eternals, then it won't be good. That's for damn sure. It won't be good. But again, even if it doesn't, it'll still make its money. Didn't Eternals pass 500 million?
It did.
Right. So Eternals passed 500 million. So, and I don't think any of those other Fantastic Four movies passed that amount. I can't be 100% sure because I never checked, but I don't think so. So yeah, just by that alone, I think it's going to do better. We already got a hint of them in Multiverse of Madness, and I pretty much enjoyed that scene, So if they get that same guy to play Reed Richards, I'd be down with it as well. I don't have a problem with that. Thought he was a good job. What's his name? Krasinski or some crap like that? John Krasinski, yeah. So I think he did a good job at that. So if they bring him back for it, I'm cool with it. I'll definitely watch it. It's an MCU property, so I'll watch it at least once. I just hope it's not like Eternals because, I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home came out after Eternals. Multiverse of Madness came out after Eternals. So I have faith that it's not going to be anything close to what Eternals was. I know a lot of us think that Phase 4 wasn't as good as the other phases, but when you go and look at the movies that came out, like No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness, I think those were the best two movies Marvel brought out and in Phase 4. And I hope they build on it because we also have the Kang Wars coming. I'm even excited for Ant-Man because Kang is going to be in it. And I think Jonathan Majors is a major asset to the MCU. So I have faith that they're going to pick it up. I honestly believe that they're just starting off phase 4. They're introducing stuff, getting characters ready for something big. And Eternals, to me, was kind of a step in
phase
the
5?
wrong direction. Yeah, phase 5,
Well,
yeah. But Eternals was a step in the wrong direction. Shang-Chi was okay, but the only really bad movie out of the whole, to me, was Eternals. Like, so.
Okay. Oh, I got you. Okay, cool. Danny, 3 minutes.
Before I do that, share the screen, please.
Oh no. He is hard on this.
See?
Here, I'm gonna make it full screen. Hold on.
Now this right here is your own words. And it was I think we did if I'm not mistaken, that Friday night we did one of the rankings. And you like, Danny, let me get on the show. Let me get on the show. I said, no, that ain't happening. And then you said the night of the show, oh no, true believers, is there no show? They can't skip out on the best episode of She-Hulk yet. Then you like, so excited. Here we go. And Danny, I didn't get an invite, Danny, in a sad face. Oh, and then I was saying something, but I don't want to hear that mess. And you said, oh, so you want to live in an echo chamber because everybody on the show was saying that the show was substandard. Caca. Crap. But you were the one championing it. Then you continue by saying, y'all a bunch of haters drinking the haterade. So there's your proof, buddy. Not to episode 5, then you start jumping on our bandwagon.
Facts.
So don't come on here with that bull crap.
Facts.
And we have the Miss Marvel ones
shit
too.
For a living.
We have the Miss Marvel ones too, man.
That is correct. So yes. Okay.
What
was the question? I'm sorry.
The question is with the MCU, they've got the writers for Fantastic Four. With current direction and writing of Phase 5, do you have faith that this Fantastic Four movie, when it comes out, will do better than the previous versions?
Okay.
3 minutes. Time starts now.
I would like to think that Kevin Feige or the powers that be will look at the last 3 different versions of Fantastic Four we saw and will not make the same mistake. So, having said that, we already seen one of the Fantastic Four members in Krasinski, whatever, in the Multiverse of Madness. So, and it got a positive response. So, if I were a betting man, if I was Kevin Feige, if I were the powers that be in the MCU camp, I would build on that because the last 3, one Fantastic Four didn't see light of day for 20 years. The other ones was kind of lukewarm. Jessica Alba, she was good to look at. Chris Evans, Michael Chiklis. I can't think of the guy that played Mr. Fantastic. They were okay, but they really kind of missed a shot. The guy that played Doom, I think he was good, but they just did Doom in a way that was just a little bit too, I don't know what word I want to use, but just didn't quite hit the mark. I think the actor did the best he could with the material that he had, but I just don't think that it hit the mark. I think that if they really go back and study the Fantastic Four, get a good script going, now special effects are even better. The special effects were okay for Fan Four stick wasn't bad for special effects. Story was just crap. Doom was crap. I didn't like how he went to that other dimension and acquired his powers. But the actual special effects, as I'm looking at it, wasn't terrible. I don't think the Thing looked bad. The Invisible Girl powers were okay. Human Torch is okay. The fact that he had to wear those bracelets or whatever those devices on his legs and arms to allow him to use his ability, I thought was a little crazy. But special effects is definitely better now. I would assume they would pump more money into it, take more time, and learn from their mistakes. So I'm not fully trusting them, but I believe that they would do it better. And I don't think that they're ignorant enough to keep repeating the same mistakes. They already got a general positive consensus that Krasinski and his wife, I can't think of her name, would be the perfect Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic. Is it Emily Blunt? I think is her name. So I don't know who would be the Human Torch or the Thing, but Hey, they can even special effect the thing, and it ain't gonna be nobody in particular. They can totally digitize him. So I think they can do it. Will they do it is the question. So I'm kind of 80-20. 80% they'll do it, 20% they'll muck it up.
I'm kind of on the line of what Anzo said. I'm not sure if they can muck it up enough to make it as bad as the other two. There were pluses to the Fantastic Four movies that have been made, except for that one that was like the direct-to-video, whatever thing, the Captain America-like thing they did. I don't remember what it was. Of the two actual released Fantastic Four movies that went to the theater, I don't think the MCU in general will muck up that. And if they do, I do think people will be like, well, it must just be this series. But I would think that they would put enough thought into it and make it work. And I'm kind of on the line with Anzo again, where he talks about how this. No, I know you're laughing, but I do think that this phase is a little rocky, but there's been its moments where it's like, okay, this is good. I think this is one that they kind of have to hit it out of the park. If they don't hit it out of the park, then there will be a lot of people talking about how they're mismanaging the MCU now. Phase 5, we've always said Phase 5 is going to be the one that tells us where they're going with it, and then we're about ready to go into Phase 6. So I think that when they get to it, if they pick the guy that played Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness, that's the best choice, even though a lot of what I've said or seen says that was just fan service more than anything. So they're not going to probably use him. But if they don't, I think they're stupid. I think that's exactly who you need to go for. And they've already established that within the multiverse, everybody looks the same. You are you, and whether or not it's actually you, you look like you in every multiverse. They've established that within the universe, so it makes sense to keep the same guy. But we'll see. I mean, I think that they'll do well. And I mean, the 80-20 that you said, Danny, is probably correct. I think they have more tools to their disposal to make this work right. It's going to be 1, casting, 2, your story, and as in most MCU films, if your villain works really well, and it is Doctor Doom, then we'll see some good stuff, and I think it'll be a good movie. 3 minutes for all of us. Is this a movie you're excited about?
I wouldn't say excited, but yeah, go ahead, Danny.
I was saying it ain't true that you look like yourself because the Spider-Mans look different.
Well, they do, and that's the funny thing. But yeah, see, I'm not sure how they're going to plan that one because maybe they're going to say that majority do, or maybe only some don't, because Strange's girlfriend looks exactly the same. They've made it established that Strange looked the same.
I think as they fit that story,
Wanda looks the same. So I mean, they've made a precedence, but you're right. You bring up a really good point that could be maybe only some people do, maybe some people don't. I'm not sure.
Some people do and some don't.
Yeah, that's something that makes sense because if everybody looked alike, then they showed drop the ball to Spider-Man because we got not only 2 different ones, we got 3 totally different Spider-Man,
no, you're right.
Different ages.
Do you think though that getting a different actor as Reed Richards would be a right move, or do you think they need to stick with that guy?
I would stick with that guy if it was me.
Yeah, I'd stick with him too.
He already says he wants to do it. They already get a positive response from the fans. So why would you go get somebody else that might not give you the same energy or the same response and then just piss off the fans even more?
Yeah,
if they never showed him, then okay. But now that they showed him and we already saw it, it's kind of hard to unring the bell, so to speak.
It's very true. No, I mean, I think that their move would be to do that. I mean, but I think casting is going to be a very big part of this. It has to be the right people.
Well, they don't have to cast somebody for the thing. They could
No, they don't.
They could digitize him.
Basically, it'd be like the Hulk.
Well, it depends, though, right? If the thing starts off human, which if they have the origin story, then they're going to have to cast someone for him if they have the origin story. So I don't know if they're going to start off with them not having powers and then getting their powers, or if we're going to start with them already having their powers.
Well, like Chris said, they could do like the Hulk. Of course, he started off. Did we even see the Hulk? With the first one we saw, but the second he already had the gamma accident. But
yeah, no, they like I said, they used the first one as its origin and just kind of said, okay, we're going to take what we want from this and go forward.
Yeah.
So that was kind of
If it was me, I wouldn't go back to that origin again. I maybe say something quick like, he had the gamma accident such time, and he working on it. I don't think I would go back through the whole thing with the Hulk you seen him getting in an explosion or using a machine or however he's going to introduce that crazy amount of gamma into his body. I don't want to see that again. But I mean, if they do it. But I could live with the fact that we already know what happened, and he's working on a cure, or it's been 2 or 3 years since the incident happened, and he's trying to deal with it, trying to do whatever he's trying to do with it.
Good for that. All right, guys, hold on to your hats. I thought about this one today, and I'm like, okay, I just want to see what your guys' opinion of this is. Is it a search for justice and what is right or needed, or is it a cry of desperation when it comes to all of the lawsuits, congressional investigations?
Can't hear you.
Okay, is it a search for justice and what is right or needed, or is it a cry of desperation when it comes to all of the lawsuits, congressional investigations, hearings, and other events against Donald Trump, his family, and associates? So my point here is that everybody that's trying to do these lawsuits and stuff and everything, does it come across as desperation to get him out of the political arena because they're afraid that he's going to win again or something of that matter? Or is this really trying to right wrongs and fix problems that are really there? Which do you think this is? Is this in his words, is this a circus or witch hunt? Or is there really a need for all of this stuff that's going on right now?
Okay.
So 3 minutes. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. You give me 5 minutes? Because 3 minutes ain't gonna be enough. I think that when Donald Trump first ran for office, and these are my strong opinions, that they didn't think he was going to win. They thought it was a joke. Then when he won, they were like, "Oh shit, what have we done?" And then some of his actions, some Americans liked. Some of his actions, some Americans didn't like. I think that when you are rich, powerful, and have everything given to you, and you're used to a certain lifestyle, that sometimes that doesn't transition into American or people that have to work for it or has legitimate problems, homeless, Medicare, health issues, all that kind of stuff. And sometimes, as much as you can empathize, you can't sympathize with somebody. I think Donald Trump speaks a lot before he thinks and says stuff that rubs certain demographics wrong. I think now that they know that because you don't have a strong candidate in the Democratic Party, that it's better to deal with the devil they have now in Joe Biden and the devil that they had 4 years ago in Donald Trump. And I think that they're doing a lot of this stuff to try to discourage him, dissuade him, and make him ineligible to be president. I think some of the stuff he's done is not presidential. I think some of the things that he accused past presidents of and past candidates of, he's doing himself, because it seems, based on the reporting, that the rules don't apply to him, or he feels that the rules don't apply to him. And the rules should apply to him, especially because he is doing everything in his power, based on what I've read and heard, to not show his income tax and all this kind of stuff. And if memory serves me correctly, You can try to do the same thing with Obama. Show us what you made. Show us all this kind of stuff. And if memory serves me correctly, Obama did show up. Then he's talking about the birth certificate thing and this kind of stuff. So I think he tries to have a lot of smoke and mirrors when the heat gets on him, and he acts like a man that's, in my opinion, based on my years of experience and living on this earth, that he's privileged and that things don't apply to him, that he's above the law in some aspects, and he's not above the law in some aspects. So do I feel any sorry or pity for the problems he's going through? Nope. They want to spend my tax money to try to prosecute him. Here you go. Take some more. I'm not a fan of his. I just think that he's not presidential. I don't think he's very good at speaking to people and empathizing with people. I think he does stuff to try to get the heat taken off of him. He tries to do these things with the HBC and all this kind of stuff and say, hey, look what I did. Look what I did. But in the back rooms, he's saying all kind of crazy stuff. So I don't trust him. I ain't gonna say I hate him, but I don't think he's a very good fit for the president of the United States. And I don't think he represents the people of the some people of the United States. Some people love him because he allows them to speak what they don't want to say out loud. Because he says it out loud, then that gives them the United States stuff out loud. So I don't like him as a president at all.
I'm going to go and answer a few things here. Up here, Donald's lawyers suck, for the record. Yes, because if they don't say yes to him, he doesn't want to hear it. He's throwing a fit over the special master he asked for. The reason why is because he wants the person he asks for to say yes. If they let something through this, and I don't know if they've finished it, but if the special master decides that 50% of whatever was confiscated at Mar-a-Lago is sensitive information, needs to go forward to court, he won't believe it, and he'll still say it's not. So the only thing he wanted a special master for is because he thought that he would get it and that they would throw everything out. That's not necessarily the case. That's what he wants. This is a good point. They got Capone for tax evasion. If he's doing something, excuse me, shifty, they'll find something. Tax evasion. They will find something to pen him down. That is how it works. They couldn't pen Capone down for all the murders. They couldn't pen him down for the illegal alcohol and all of that stuff. But they figured that he was cooking the books. They found it, and they threw him in jail for the rest of his life for it. I mean, they'll figure it out.
My understanding too is that when you present certain laws, you have certain protections and stuff that prevents you from getting prosecuted. And he was under that protection, and now he wants to get back under that because I think the wolves are at the door.
Well, if he goes, the federal government can. I think you can still. I mean, there's a lot of rules and ways around it. But yes, I think right now it's the wolves at the door. If former President Kitty Grabber is innocent, there shouldn't be any problems. Okay, I disagree and I agree. Disagree in the sense that I don't think people should be falsely.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
I said I don't believe that a person who says I'm not hiding anything, but I'm not going to let you come in and look through my house. I don't think that necessarily makes you guilty. Now, I agree with the fact that it says if there's nothing to hide, you should let them do it. But the thing is going back to the Capone thing. If they want to get you for something, they're going to figure out how to do it. I mean, so yeah. Anyways, Nzo, 3 minutes, go.
I have no idea. I haven't really been following what's going on with Trump recently. The only thing I really know about is ratings, but other than that, I don't really know anything else. So I don't know. Is it a witch hunt? It could be, right? Because I haven't heard anything that came out of the raid. Like, what's come out of it? What did they find? What did they do? Is he going to trial for it? Is what happened? I have no idea. It's just like, to me, it seems like they talked about the raid, and then all of a sudden it was just crickets. So
I don't know.
I personally have no idea.
I'm
Go
looking
ahead.
it up right now. What's going on with
So, I mean, I think like Danny said, I'm on his side. I don't like Trump either. I haven't been a fan of him. Even before he became president, I didn't like him, and I'm not a fan now. So if he did do something illegal or something wrong, then I think, yes, do what you got to do and make sure that he gets all like prosecuted to the extent of the law or whatever. But other than that, man, I don't know. I don't know. I really couldn't tell you.
So now it looks like the Justice Department is asking for a third party to rule on what the special master is doing. It says on Friday, the Justice Department asked a federal appeals court to immediately hold parts of a ruling by federal judge Aileen Cannon of the Southern District of Florida, which not only appointed an independent arbitrator to conduct a third-party review of materials seized by Mar-a-Lago, but barred federal. So they're asking for it. They're asking somebody else to look at it and decide if they should do it. Then that's what we're going to get into. Is there's going to be a lot of parlaying going up the ladder of, appeals and stuff. Are you done, Nzo? If you are,
yeah.
Okay. The whole, is it desperation?
I'll be right back. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Is it desperation or is it not? I believe it's both. It is their sheer desperation that if they believe that he's been doing wrong stuff and that they need to get him away from the chance to run again because they do believe he will win this time around. And if anything, that probably bolsters his case. And if he can hold out long enough, these won't go away. I think that's the one thing he may not understand is all these different things going on in courts won't go away if he does get the president again. They were done while he was quote unquote a civilian, which he's not a civilian anymore because once president, always president, whatever. But he is not the president right now. So what will happen is if this is still going on, he's going to try and manipulate things in office. And I think that will actually be disastrous for him because if he starts trying to manipulate things, they're going to come after him for that. But I believe there's a point of this where it's partially desperation because they know they have to do something to keep him from running. And also perhaps keep his money tied up so if he runs, he doesn't have as much, maybe. But I think there's a lot of stuff behind this that they need to look at. Why did he have supposedly top secret stuff at Mar-a-Lago in a pool house or wherever the hell he had it? Why did he not do more about the January 6th thing? He watched for hours. Why didn't he say, stop now? They would have listened to him. He didn't. So there's plenty of examples of acted when he shouldn't have and didn't when he should have. And I think that goes back to what Danny said. Not very presidential. Now, is Joe Biden being presidential? To an extent.
He's the lesser of two evils.
What he is, and he is more political. He's a part of the system. And I think that's the biggest problem. They don't know how to handle somebody who is not a part of the system. And I'll agree with everybody who says, that's why I like him. Well, okay, fine, that's great. But you got to have that stuff. You got to have a part of somebody who understands how things run. But I think it's a bit both. Partially desperation, partially not. And so, yeah. That's all I have to say on that. Do you have anything more, Danny? Because I know Nzo doesn't really have anything more. No? Okay, we can drop this one. That's fine. And we can go straight to the thing that, I personally enjoy, even though me and Nzo need to catch up. It's time for the final five. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now for the moment that everyone's been waiting for. It's Khaos Central's Final 5 Fact or Fiction. Yes, it is the Final 5 Fact or Fiction, and I will open up the tally really quick here. There we go, got it up. We will bring it up. Let's see here. It's not that bad. It's actually closer than it could have been.
Just the fact that we're behind is not close enough for me.
I know. Danny's at 36 and Anzo's at 31. I'm at 33. We'll see how this continues and how this goes. But yeah. So we have 6 or 5. Can't count today. We have 5 topics. Fact or fiction. That's how you have to answer them. And there's the answer sheet. First topic today is: we know what phase 6 is starting with and ending with, but what else could we expect in the upcoming phase? This is going to be all about phase 6. Fact or fiction: the first MCU X-Men movie will be in phase 6. Danny.
Fact.
Boy, let's say fiction, but I'm gonna say fiction. I'm going to. I think it's a phase 7 thing, but it might come in here. Next one. Question number 2. Dr. Doom will make his first MCU appearance in the Fantastic Four movie. Now, I'll make this very poignant. If he shows up in anything else, then this isn't true. It has to be in the Fantastic Four movie.
Does end credit scene count?
Anything. End credit, let me rephrase. Not like a magazine or a newspaper. It has to be some sort of live action shot, like we see him in a scene or something, or we see his silhouette, or like, kind of like how Boba Fett was in Mandalorian, or we thought it was Boba Fett. Probably was, but yeah. So Anzo.
I'm gonna say fact.
I'm gonna say fact too. Any?
What was the question? That
Dr. Doom will make his first MCU appearance in the Fantastic Four movie.
Fiction.
Fiction. You think he'll be somewhere else? Gotcha.
Unseen credit of Wakanda. I do believe that.
Boy, it almost makes me want to change it. Not going to. Not going to do it.
Neither am I.
Question number 3. Fact or fiction: Robert Downey Jr. will make an appearance in some way in phase 6.
Fact.
Oh, I was going to go first on that one. But you say fact. Hold on, let me get it up there. You say fact. I say fact because I believe it'll be a message or something. I'm not sure what. Anzo?
Oh, okay. Well, if you're talking like that, then yeah, I'm gonna say fact. If you're talking about him actually being in the movie,
message, well,
yeah. If that's the case, then yeah, fact.
Something like that, yeah. Like not live necessarily, but like the AI idea or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 4 is fact or fiction: we will get a third Doctor Strange movie in phase 6.
Fact. Oh, in phase 6?
Yes, this is all phase 6 stuff.
Yeah, I'll go with fact.
Okay. I'm going to go fiction. Danny?
I'm going fiction as well.
Okay. And the last question is: Deadpool 3 will be a part of the phase 6 lineup. I'm going to say fact.
Can we have a who cares?
No, fact or fiction.
I guess fact.
Okay. Anzo?
I'm going fact too.
Anzo's straight facts today. And Danny's fact, fiction, fact. And I am fiction, fact, fiction, fact. So that's how that lines up. Next week, hopefully we'll have some that we have answered. If we don't, oh well, that's all right. With that said, we'll let Anzo go ahead and say his piece so he can get out and get to his show. And then,
what's up, guys? Biggaford Entertainment. You know the channel. Next up will be the OOC. Hope you guys all check it out. But other than that, great show, Chris.
Awesome. Thank you, Nzo, for being here. Guys, go check out OOC.
Always.
Yeah. And Danny, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself one more time.
I'm Danny, A.K. Comment Chat. You can find me here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights on this very channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with two gentlemen, one to my left and one below me. Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, She-Hulk Roundtable. Saturdays, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Square One. We talk NFL, do our picks, and usually a good time. So if you're not doing anything either one of those days, please tune in and check us in. Also, Sunday nights at 10, I usually stream with Robert Storm, Brittany, and Adam. So definitely tune in. And sometimes I jump on Anzo's show, which will be starting here momentarily. So if you're not doing anything, tune in, check us out. And also be ready for my video tomorrow, which will be titled Are YouTubers Bullies? So check it out.
Listen to him go. All right. I am Chris Knight. The Real Review 3000 is my channel, guys. Tomorrow night, the Rumble on my channel. Then on Friday, I think we have Anzo's ranking. Sunday, we're going to have the weekly wrap-up. We're going to have the Andor Roundtable. We're going to have the She-Hulk Roundtable. And then later on that night, we're going to have Name That Tune with a lot of stuff going on. So, guys, check it out. With that said, thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys. And we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Peace.
Peace.